We're going to find out if the stories here are true
or if they're BS.
BS. Hey, it's Scott, and I'm in the Mary Lambert room at the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico. Tonight I'm going to find out if this place is really haunted or if it's all BS. Hey, it's Scott, and I'm in the Mary Lambert room at the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico. Tonight I'm going to find out if this place is really haunted or if it's all BS. Alright, so I'm going to go around the room and just kind of test everything. Go over here near the door. Door should not give off anything. Sometimes electrical outlets will, light switches will. Doesn't seem to be anything. Let's come over here to this outlet. See, it's almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit in here. Did not mean to press that button. There we go. 26 degrees centigrade. Okay. Nothing here. Let's check out the bathroom. Light switch is off. Light switch on. Not much. How about the light itself? Not much. Nothing actually. So far I have 0 milligauss on everything. Now, I don't always film this process, but we do this in every single room we go into. We check for magnetic fields. Does not seem to be any associated with the mirror or with the fireplace. I wouldn't think there would be for the fireplace, but you know, sometimes weird things happen. Portrait should be 0, and it is. Now I unplugged this lamp. This lamp should be giving off 0, so I have to charge my own stuff. I have my FLIR thermal camera there and a little IR lamp for later recording there. 0 on the window. Here I have another blue ball and a cat toy. I did have a blue ball right there as well. Again, this lamp is unplugged. It should give off 0. And it does. The mirror. There you go. You can see it 0. So you can kind of see what I see in here. You see the K2 meter on the bed pretty clearly, actually. Can't see much on the lighter stand, but you can tell it's there. You see my charging cord there from my phone. Over there in that corner. Or you can actually see the EMF detector up there on the window, or in the fireplace mantle. Over there in the corner, on the far corner, you can make out. Oh, you can actually see the mirror on the wall. But yeah, I have a camera and stuff set up over there as well that's going to watch me as I sleep. Outside. There's a humming coming from outside. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe the overall AC unit. I don't think they have one. Well, I don't think the historic building has one, but they might have one for downstairs, but they definitely do. It's so cool downstairs. They probably have one for the newer buildings as well, so it's probably an AC unit humming. You can hear the humming coming from the hallway from the window unit. So it's about 1 p.m. I did not do a midnight full investigation of the hotel. I did not end up going downstairs. Um, I've kind of had the day because I woke up at around 10. I had the day to kind of go over some of the things that happened last night. Um, Nothing physical happened, as far as I can tell. I got to review audio and video and all that fun stuff. But something I kept reading in the stories and accounts of this place happened to me. And the K2 meter just flashed. I am recording on my phone, but it's in airplane mode, so it should not flash. And that's that repetitive story that I've seen 2 or 3, 4 times. Um, I'll have the actual number on here when I edit this video and put it together. But I spent the night in this room completely alone. My cameras were on me, the IR worked, the camera worked all night long, audio was going all night, everything went smooth there. I woke up at 3:15 in a cold sweat from this dream of my wife and I together in bed. She was goofing around, and I was like, stop, I'm trying to sleep. And then she started singing Be My Guest from Beauty and the Beast. And that's when I realized she's not with me. This is a dream. And then the most like evil smile came over her face. And I was like, you're not my wife. And then I jolted awake. So that was my experience last night. Like I said, you can hear people going up and down the hallway. That's pretty normal. So, yeah, I think that it was a dream. I don't know if there was anything there, but it's interesting. How about I buy you a whiskey? I'm not gonna buy the cheap stuff. I'm gonna get you high, top shelf, high end. Get you the best bottle they got. That's right. Yeah, I'm paying. Hi, thanks for watching this episode on the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico. I'm happy to debrief on why I kind of came to the conclusion that this hotel was not haunted. You saw the same thing that we all saw in the camera when I turned around while walking through the hallway. That was really the only thing that my cameras caught, like anything at all. And one of the things I figured out, and I figured this out on the second day, um, was that when you're walking in the halls, it can sound like someone is walking behind you because of the way the floorboards creak. Um, Old houses do this. It happens at just about any second story building I've been to, whether it's the Boyd House, the Patterson Inn, um, oh gosh, even the Limp Mansion had parts where when you walk in certain spaces, boards even behind you creak. Now, when I turn around, you see a shadow. That is actually the IR trying to adjust for the brightness of my shirt and the darkness and brightness of the hallway. There's a lot of lighting and shadows happening. That's what's happening there. It's not paranormal. I promise. I wanted to be clear about that. Like, it is not a paranormal event. I also captured zero audio. I captured zero audio. I had nothing happen. I figured out the K2 meter going off while I was explaining my dream. There was nothing paranormal there. Remember, you could hear people talking in the hallway? If one of them had a phone that was not in airplane mode, which is a high probability, that could, if they were on the other side of that wall, be more than enough to make a K2 meter flicker. So I was able to explain away literally everything that happened. Um, there's a physical, reasonable, logical reason behind it. I'm not going to sit here and try to debate that something is paranormal when there is a logical explanation. That goes against the spirit of paranormal investigations. It should go in the spirit of everything we try to do to explain what paranormal phenomena are when they legitimately occur. I simply did not have those experiences at the St. James Hotel. I do want to talk about the dream. That was weird. It freaked me out that night. I was just laying there, and then, yeah, uh, that dream happened. My wife was sitting next to me, like singing a Disney song, and then I'm like, "You're not my wife." And then just this evil smile comes across her face, and it was freaky. I did wake up in a cold sweat. It was around 3:15, 3:20 in the morning. Um, it's mountain time, so it wasn't like a sacred time or anything like that. I don't believe in that stuff, but um, it was weird. It was freaky. There was another thing that I didn't catch on camera because it was while I was actually getting to my room the very first time. I walk up to the room and it sounds like something shuffling behind the door. This is another important point. There are other rooms in this hallway. There is a room right beside that room that I was staying in.
if someone in there was jostling in their bathroom, if someone in there was dropping a suitcase or shuffling something in their room, it could have moved across rooms and made it sound like it was coming from behind that door. Is that the best explanation in the world? Maybe. That's the best I could come up with. But it leaves room for a physical experience. I am kind of teetered on putting the St. James Hotel because this is the second one I've been to. I've been to the one in Selma, Alabama, and this one in Cimarron. I've debated whether or not to put this in the category of weird things happen, but I need a more controlled space. Because there were a lot of people there when I went. It might be worth going in the dead of winter instead of like in the summertime when I went. It's only a few hours away from me. I could make that drive this December, this January. It's just I just don't have anything to say one way or another. And all the evidence points toward logic versus weird for the sake of being weird. Everything seems to have a physical explanation in play. I'm not going to argue with a physical explanation when I think I know what it is. So that's my conclusion. As always, thanks for watching and sleep tight.
Here's the door.